This episode of the Grappler Union podcast is brought to you by Diamond MMA. Start protecting your boys with the best groin protection on the planet. Black belts such as Gary Tonin, Eddie Cummings, and Joe Rogan all trust their family jewels with Diamond MMA. Enter the code Grappler Union at checkout and save 15% off all your Diamond products. Go to diamondmma.com today. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Grappler Union Podcast. Paul Maloney alongside Anthony Zito. On this episode, we're joined by the Cimm brothers, Mike and Nick Cimm. Mike Cimm is the owner and head instructor at Illinois Grappling Club, and Nick Cimm is the owner and head instructor at Chicago School of Grappling. Enjoy.
I hate the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me, using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here just to take part, we're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
All right, we're live.
Cool. What's up, fellas? Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So, no, this is kombucha that I brew at home myself. And typically, you let it go for about 2 weeks. It's fermented tea. But I let it go for about 21, 22 days because I like a real bite, you know?
Ooh,
I like to do that whiskey face when I take a sip. Like, oh, yeah.
One of my guys does that. Ross
Yeah.
Green.
Have you ever tried it?
No, I have
Here,
not.
take a sip of this thing.
Oh, man.
I'm going to dim the lights in here a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like vinegar, right?
No,
Right?
they keep them like this because
you
of
want
that,
it like
yeah.
A gummer mouth. Is that going to be bad?
I don't know.
For sure. It's weird.
Do it. Come on. And he drinks it. Survey says
Yeah, it's pretty nasty tasting.
It's nasty?
it's good for your
I mean,
belly,
it's
though,
not-
right?
Try it, Nick.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Fucking pound this thing. Man, it tastes like shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, I get it.
It's not my, it's not
I've
gonna
had
be
it
my
before.
first
And I
choice.
know some people that drink
Mike,
it all the time.
are you on a diet right now, Andy? Are you watching what you eat? You got to make weight
No.
for Fight to Win?
No, he's coming down. So the day I got the match, I was 182. The match is at 190.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Oh, that's
yeah,
not bad.
which is kind of funny because the first time I fought at Fight to Win, 13 against Daniel Ivana,
Yeah.
I was 5 weeks out the day of I found out I'm at 202 and the match is at 185.
Oh,
I weighed in at 182.
yeah.
So I just, when our natural frame, probably around, below 180s, probably under 180 would be best, but
Right.
I eat well.
Yeah.
And I enjoy food.
So who are you fighting?
Cristiano Ribeiro.
Right. And he's
Harley Gracie black belt, 4th or 5th degree black belt. I believe BJJ Heroes has him as 5th degree black
5th
belt.
degree?
What's up with that? Do not fight anyone less than 3rd degrees? Or what?
Kinda. Yeah. No, I don't want. They ask me whoever, and I tell them I'll go against whoever. I don't need an easy
Yeah.
ride.
So how does that work? Seth Daniels himself hits you up?
Yeah.
And, okay.
Yeah. A message on Facebook.
Right.
Hey,
and was
this
that the first name?
There were a couple. Actually, Antoine Evans was the first one. He's a black belt under junior, and Carlson Jr. And it's kind of funny. I've roughed with him before, and so after grappling games, they're like pro thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I was talking. I was like, this is like 3 years now. We've been reffing. 2 years we've been reffing. I was like, it's about time we get on the mats together. And he's
Right.
like, totally, dude. Let's do it. He's like, you come by me one day, and I'll come by you. And I was like, awesome. And then, like 3 weeks later, Seth says, Antoine Evans at 185 pounds, and I was like, I guess we're not going to get together, and then we'll wait till after the 29th. And then opponents get mixed around, and then I landed with Cristiano Ribeiro. So
Yeah. Good
Beautiful.
times.
Can't beat that.
No,
I mean,
no.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good name.
yeah.
So you're probably going, do you know when you're going in the card?
From what I saw posted, I believe I was going to be like their 4th or 5th black belt match, maybe the 3rd, 4th, or 5th black belt match, something
Gotcha.
like that. So
See, I didn't know. So I got an email. I don't know if I got an email. I saw a post on Facebook like, oh, we're taking entries, if you want to get on that card.
apply, yeah.
So
That's how I got on.
I threw my name in the hat. I didn't read the fine print where you have to be a blue
Purple belt.
purple belt or
Purple
above.
belt.
I'm like, oh fuck it, whatever, dude. I just want to fight. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to fight, man.
Hey, Seth, you got any 40-year-old blue belt rooster weights?
Hit me back. It's Anthony.
Hit me back.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll fight anybody. You know me. Dude.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's the idea, right? Fucking it's
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. What's the worst thing that happens? You tap?
Exactly. That's the
Okay,
thing.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's
Now,
fun.
is your match gonna be gi?
Yeah,
nice,
geeky,
nice.
you know. I told him I had no preference. I'll do
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but yeah.
So was that the biggest show you competed on? The first time you competed? Yeah.
You know, I did my first match at black belt was 3 months in again at Respect. I fought on the first Respect card
nice.
Okay.
for JW in
Yeah.
St. Louis. That was fun. Fought against Mark Comian. Lost on points.
Respect his points.
Yeah,
Oh.
they do legit like IBJJF rules
okay.
minus the advantages.
Okay.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's legit IBJJF rules. So.
Okay.
You know, so a good show. You know, it was cool. Like he changed the venue after the first one but the first one was at a car museum, auto museum.
Oh,
so
really?
like yeah, it's like but they emptied out like a bunch of like the old school cars and they
Okay.
left like a I don't know, spattering of dope ass rides
Right,
all throughout
yeah,
the place.
yeah.
So
That's pretty
you
cool.
get to
The
walk
best ones.
around and see all these cars,
Yeah.
cars, and you know watch a little bit of jiu-jitsu. So it's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah. So
This fight to win's gonna be at the Odeum, right?
Odium.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy because that Linwood one was
Linwood
kind of far.
sucked, dude. Linwood is far as fuck, man.
Really
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
The concession sucked.
Yeah, outside the mats sucked. I tell everyone I get to check off my list. I did jujitsu. I competed in jujitsu on a slip and slide.
Yeah.
You know,
On a skating rink.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, but the grappling games had
Theirs was
indoors
on those same floors that Seth Daniels and the guys said they couldn't put their production stuff. So their light rigs must be a lot bigger and whatever.
Oh, is that what it
because
was?
That's what they said. Like,
Was that-
because
that's
it's a
why it had
floating
to be-
floor. That's
okay.
why they put it outside. He's like, dude, if I put my stuff on this floor, he's like, it's gonna go right through it. And he's like, I'm not buying your fucking floor. So he begged them and pleaded with them to let him do it outside. They weren't gonna let him do it outside. The city that wasn't gonna let him do it outside, and he. Again, like he posted on Facebook right before it, he spent like a shit ton of fucking money to get it put together because he did not want to cancel 48 hours out.
No,
Right.
you don't. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I like the idea.
It was a
of being
great
outside.
idea.
Yeah.
You know, execution missed, the mark a little bit, but, all in all, it was, it was pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully it wasn't too cold outside. So.
But is it because the atmosphere was the mat, or is the mat normally that?
Well, I
slippery?
think
No. It was the condensation
It's
from
the condensation,
from being
right.
outside.
Yeah.
Was
Was it like the sun was probably shining down
setting?
on it
Yeah,
all
as the
day,
sun, and that was the thing exactly.
and then when the air got cold, the mats were like warm from getting
Yeah.
sun. So I don't know how would they do it because I mean
fans. You're supposed to put fans underneath it. You circulate the air underneath
keep
it.
it cool, and
Yeah.
then maybe like
They wouldn't.
a couple of covers, maybe some tarps or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
'Cause you would hate to
does
just-
outdoor war.
Dude,
They had the same problems though every time. I remember
time.
Chris Albania says that
Yeah.
it was.
Every outdoor show, MMA show I've been to, it's like near the end of it, you're always running into people are ice skating out there.
Right,
It's just-
yeah.
It's fucking dangerous.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Not fun.
Yeah, I mean Vegas is okay because it's just like dry heat all the
All
time.
day,
you know,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
It's a little different here.
yeah.
A little different here.
What about you, Nick? You going to be coaching your brother?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, in the corner.
in the corner, kind of
Nice.
cracking jokes or
Cracking jokes like you did at the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you say? You just try and keep it breezy.
Keep it
Yeah,
light.
just trying to keep
Yeah.
it light.
That's kind of us. Our thing with jujitsu, we keep it light. Too many
Well, of
guys are
course.
just fucking way
so
too
serious about it.
Right.
You know, oos and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit. I tell all my guys, like, fucking, who cares, man? We do jujitsu. I'm an asshole kid from fucking the north suburbs, like you know, like
Where
that's just
are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Skokie.
Okay.
Skokie, born and raised. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
So
north-
how'd you
north
get
suburbs.
into jiu-jitsu, and what's your whole background?
This guy, man? You tell the story, dude.
Oh, all right. So
First, you guys are twins.
Identical
We are
twins. Identical twins.
Identical twins. Who's the oldest?
I am
By
Nick.
what, like 45 seconds or something?
60.
60.
Oh, 60.
And
Okay.
he'll tell you in seconds, not minutes, because
Yeah.
1 minute's like
Yeah,
small
but
number.
Small
minutes.
number. 6 is the bigger number.
60's bigger. Yeah, exactly.
So my first experience ever with jiu-jitsu was back in 1995 with Miles Vives, who's a guy that we grew up with. We were friends with growing up.
John Nawano's first black belt in jiu-jitsu.
And he got involved, in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back then. He saw the first UFC and he was just he was off to the races. And so it was like my first experience ever. And then I wrestled through high school, and then spent some time in the military. And when I was in the military, they were changing from like line training, what they used to teach the Marines, to they have now the McMAP, which is Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, and part of that program is very heavily influenced by Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And like I remember reading the manuals, like they didn't even have the instructors courses yet in the Marines. So like, I'm just reading the manuals of like how to do like submissions and shit, you know.
Right.
But anyway, fast forward to 2005. I'm coming back from overseas, and my brother reaches out to me and he's like, "Hey, I ran into Mark Vives, who's Miles' older brother, who's now teaching in Evanston, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a purple belt. He's teaching at Evanston." So as soon as I got back from overseas, a couple months later, I hit him up, August 2005, and I've just been training ever since. You know,
Yeah.
Got the fucking itch right away. I remember walking in my first day, and a couple of Asian dudes. You know, it's Mark, and it's funny, like Mark and this bunch of Asian dudes. And I was a little bit heavier then. I was probably 225 when I started, you know, just living a good life, drinking and eating whatever I wanted,
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
And I wrestled, right? And like I was a pretty good wrestler, so like I felt like, oh man, just here it is.
Plus, I've been reading manuals in the military and shit.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck these dudes up, you know. And dude, bro, I'll never forget it. These little Asian dudes started choking me, fucking armbarring me, and I was just like, my first day, I was just like, I was drowning, but that was it, hook, line, and sinker, you know. And then I was just like, fucking, damn, I got to do this forever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it. I got the itch, and then it was funny because Mike told me about it, and 6 months after he told me about it, I was training, and then for 6 months I was like, dude, fucking, you need to start training. Come on, try this. So finally, 6 months after I've already been training, he started training.
Nice.
You know, so fucking
So there it is, a year later.
Yeah.
When I had an opportunity presented itself to train, I said, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
Typical most guys stuff, you know. I mean, and,
right.
and I was playing sports, I was active, I was working out or whatever, but I was like, dude, that's gross, dude. That's kind of gay. You know?
Yeah, right,
You're
right.
gonna get on the mat and you're gonna roll dudes. They're gonna sweat on you and you're gonna sweat on them. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna choose to do that shit like in your free time.
fuck yeah.
I was like, no fucking way I'm doing that.
Did you wrestle in high school too?
I did not. I wrestled for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
My freshman year, off season. Me and wrestling had a love-hate relationship. You know, we grew up, you know, 90s basketball, right? The Bulls, all that shit, right?
Yeah,
Any Chicago kid, you know
absolutely.
what's up, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking
Yep.
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, right?
Sure.
Right? So our whole family, we all played, we'd Sunday get-togethers, we would all play basketball. And so we, you know, junior high, we played basketball. There was no wrestling at our elementary schools, you know, and so we never really had exposure to it.
Actually, there was.
Was it really?
Nick Mitria, Yusuf, and Chris Cimm all did it. But when you said wrestling to a kid in the 90s who had no idea what wrestling was,
WWF.
we were
WWF,
fucking
yeah.
close. Me and Mike like, dude, we already do that shit at home.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't need to go do that. You know? So, but yeah, so there, and it was at the high school. But
Interesting. I had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not power bombs out
So
the
yeah,
couch.
so freshman year, we go out for basketball, and I'm on the A team, Nick's on the B team, right? Nick, you know, he just doesn't have his heart into it, and he's like, "Fuck it, I don't want to do this," you know, and makes it 2 weeks, and literally,
let me take over here because this is actually kind of a good story.
Yeah.
I like Mike said.
That's the older brother taking
Yeah,
this is a good story.
I was on the B team, and I was on the basketball team for 5 weeks, and I actually got moved up from the B team to the A team, and I played one game, and I like sat on the friggin' bench the entire time. You know, like that's the guy I was on the A team, and I saw a wrestling meet actually that night. That day, I played a game, and I saw Chris Cimm wrestle, and I was like, and Nick Mitria, you know, these guys were all on the team, and I was just like, that's the fucking coolest thing ever. And then that was on a Friday. Monday morning, I told the wrestling coach I wanted to wrestle, and I was on the team, and that was it. And then I had a meet that night, and it was hilarious. And then I pinned the kid in like a perfect plex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, I fucked with
That's a fucking story.
What weight?
135 pounds.
Yeah, we were like
Yeah,
130.
freshman year we were about 5'4", 135 pounds.
And you wrestled that day.
Wrestled
Wrestled
that day and won.
And what?
And won.
At my school, you had to like have wrestle offs for the starting position. You know.
Yeah, so it's like freshmen, you know, they're just like, it was an exhibition match. I don't even think I was on the lineup, you know, they were just like, you know, we can get you a match if, you know, we could probably get you a match. And I was like, okay, say, hop on a scale, this is whatever you weighed, like, or, you know. So
Right.
Didn't count towards team points, but I mean, they got me a match.
Yeah.
And I won that motherfucker.
Do you still compete?
Say again?
Do you compete now in jiu-jitsu?
Nah, I mean, I have. I haven't been active on the circuit in a long time. I just
he likes to punch and kick, so he's been doing that shit.
Oh, all right.
Been doing that. Yeah, he's been doing some Muay Thai for a little bit.
You got a guy at your school, or you teach it?
I got a guy at my school.
Yeah.
I mean, I can teach it.
Right.
I think I know enough to teach it.
Yeah.
So I like to say that it's just like jiu-jitsu. You can be a blue belt and teach jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Fuck, you could be a couple stripe white belt.
Yeah,
and
dude. These people come in, they know what the fuck they're doing, right?
Right.
They don't know how to shrimp, right?
Yeah, right.
Somebody new who comes in, right? You don't have to teach them freaking flying arm bars, right? You just got to teach them how to be able to shrimp and shit, right?
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, you guys can do that, right? No problem.
Right.
Yeah, anybody can do that shit.
Who better to teach the shrimping than the guy who just learned it?
Just
5
learned
months
it.
ago,
It's
you know?
fresh.
Exactly.
So what are you, like a purple belt at Muay Thai? What would you say you are?
Shit. I don't know.
Green
I'd say I'm
belt.
like a blue belt.
A blue belt?
Yeah.
Couple of stripes, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
But, you know, I got that, I get the background in grappling, you know, so it's like, it's kind of funny. Like, even if I'm fighting somebody who's clearly a better striker than me, I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to turn this into a dirty fucking grappling boxing match, you know?
Right.
And, like, I can usually hang pretty well with these strikers just because I can do that. You know,
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah.
That ability too, so.
You push him up against the wall like Randy Couture and you just go dirty boxing on him and shit.
Yeah, I can. You know, I try not to.
Right.
You know, when I fought MMA, I did that, but it's because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing on my
Right.
feet, you know. And I think it's been a long time now that I've been training and doing Muay Thai and MMA, so it's like, I think I just have a better understanding of how to approach it, you know.
Right.
I think a lot of people just think, you know, you just go out there and just fucking brawl, and it's like,
Right.
it's not about that, right? They call boxing the sweet science, right?
Right.
Because when you really get into it, I mean, fuck,
Vitaly,
it's
what's that guy's name?
super technical,
Lomachenko?
you know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
High tech.
yeah, exactly. You see a guy like Floyd, you know, and it's like to the average person, you know, they just see he's fucking just running.
I
you
could
know?
do that. They're just swinging at each other, you know.
right.
Right. The drunk guy in the bar is like, well, hit him harder, you know, and shit like that.
it's
It's
the
like when
worst.
people see jiu-jitsu, they're like, what? Guys are laying on each other. What?
Right, yeah.
What? And you're like, you have no idea how much
have
shit's
no
going on, you know?
So we also ref MMA, right?
Uh-huh.
And so you can't imagine the shit you hear at these amateur MMA events from the crowd, you know, fucking dudes like mounted on the guy, you know, and they're like, fucking stand him up, you know?
Right.
What the fuck? You know, got on his back, hooks in, flattening him out, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking, he's not doing anything, stand him up. You're just like, what the
What?
fuck? You know, it's like,
I know.
blows my
I
mind,
can't
man.
do it. I can't.
yeah.
So being a ref, do people get in your face?
Oh, absolutely,
time.
man.
All the time,
I've had
huh?
coaches get in my face.
Really?
Yeah. it's
Knowing who
kinda
you guys
funny.
are, not like average like Joe
Yeah, I
in
think-
the
no,
crowd.
but this is the thing. I think a lot of people don't really know who we are, you know? So it's like,
I don't know. Maybe you guys are going to change that.
Yeah, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, these guys are black belts. You think they know what they're doing.
Right.
You know?
I think they know. I think they know.
So,
what they're
like,
doing.
what's the most common complaint from a coach to a referee?
Early stoppage, wrong stoppage, illegal blows.
Yeah.
He hit him in the back of the head. I'm pretty sure that was on his ear.
yeah.
You know? I had a guy.
Yeah, I think that's like,
I had a fight where the one guy was a really good striker and this opponent, like, obviously you could just tell. Sometimes you could just tell. You see a guy and you're just like, oh, fuck, this is not going to be good for this guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, you're kind of worried, right? But, of course, it turns out exactly how you expect it. And he literally, it's MMA, so you can hold behind the back of the head and you can fucking hit him. And he's literally holding the back of his head and he's just fucking uppercutting him. And like 6, 7 go through and I jump and I fucking stop it. And the coach fucking loses his mind. Like, oh, fuck fuck are you talking about? He's protecting himself. I was like, this while you're getting uppercutted is not intelligently defending yourself. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny, man, the shit that you hear.
I know, right? It's like, how many shots do you want your guy to take?
Yeah.
Right?
You know?
As a coach, shouldn't that be like your focus, making sure your guys are safe?
Sad, man, how many coaches
I mean,
don't care about their fighters'
None of these
well-beings,
coaches would ever
you
fucking
know?
throw in a towel. Are you kidding me? The first thing I'd make sure I had when I went to that cage side was a towel in case I had to fucking throw it in for him.
Taped up tight with some you know,
something. I mean,
fucking throw that thing in. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
that is interesting.
That's the scary part, you know, because so it's like you got coaches who don't care, and then we tell everybody when we go over the rules meetings, you know, that like we have to protect you guys from you know, because you guys fucking are warriors. You someone go out there and it's like, you know, I'm gonna go out on my fucking chill, on my fucking die. You're like, bro, this is the amateur MMA event. Relax, like chill out. Right?
Exactly.
You don't have to die tonight, right? Like, you live to fight another day, right?
You're a young guy,
you know, and that's the thing. Like, dude, all these guys, you know, it's their first MMA fight, you know, and they're like, I'm gonna put an 8-week camp in, and this is it. You know, this is the world title to them. You know, you're like, damn, like I get it, chill out.
Right.
You know, it's
chill out.
It ain't that serious.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's, I mean, I approach my, even though it's nothing near MMA, but even jiu-jitsu matches, I love it so much. I'm just so glad I can compete at my age and still be competitive and be able to win and whatever and put on a good show that I just love it. I just want to go out and compete
for sure.
Just throw people at me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Paul's like, dude, I don't know why you talk to him. I don't know why. I'm so happy.
It's weird. It's funny because Anthony becomes like besties with the competitors like right before they're about to compete. You know,
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm right in your face, like, hey man, what's up? How you doing, man?
Good.
You feeling
It
good?
was
How's
like
breakfast.
Yeah,
good.
Exactly. You feeling good? Any injuries? Do you want to tell me about?
What do you like to do? What kind of jiu-jitsu are you good at?
Right. Look, are you a guard player? Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, I'll bullshit with a guy like after a match or whatever, but I don't want to be like, I'm trying to get in the zone here. Zito's like, so you know, Chicago Open, the IBJJF, they have that bullpen that you go into and you got to wait there. And I'm like, you must have been in heaven because they make you wait in that fucking thing for a half an hour, you know?
Yeah, they did.
And it was funny because you walked up to the one guy who you were going against, and this guy was headphones on, jumping up and down, had like a little bit of sweat going, just kind of like doing his thing back and forth. And Zito walks up, he's like, hey, man, I think we're going to be competing together. I'm Anthony, blah, blah, blah. And like, you just would not stop talking to this dude. And like, the jumping up and down went like a little bit less, and then he just kind of started swaying back and forth. And then like 10 minutes into it, he's like, this fucking guy's not going to leave me alone. I'm just going to stop and stand here. You know what I mean? I give in.
You're gonna tell me about your life.
I'm like, that's your method, man. You're stopping the guy from like warming up and shit. Now this guy's cold.
Did you win?
No, he beat me. Yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
It's okay. He was good. He was a good guy. And you know, we plan on, you know, training together now, you know, because he's, you know, it's hard to find guys little that are my age, you know, in my age group. So
how old are you? You keep saying
I'm 41.
41.
Yeah, so he was, I think down was like 38. So it was nice.
I mean, can you guys do that? Like bullshit with the guy for 15 minutes before you go grapple him?
I can.
Yeah. Well, you know a lot of guys. I mean, so you probably know who you're going up against anyway. Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah,
I prefer to wait after. You know.
Now some people, I mean, Mark.
Yeah.
He like does laps. Like I saw him doing laps. At
gets in the fucking zone.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
Good luck talking to that dude.
No, you're talking to Mark.
Zito's running after him. Mark, wait up! I think we're competing together. Leave me alone.
He's just he is like in that. Like I don't like when I saw him he just won at the Fight to Win in Cleveland. Yeah. That was a great match.
I didn't see it.
It's good, really good match. And I'm just looking at him like
how do you win? Guillotine, right?
No, decision.
He won by, I don't know how it was 2-1.
Yeah.
Split.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But he won by a decision. But no, he was doing it really well.
Nice.
And I looked at him. I'm like, because I know him. I rolled with him. And I'm just looking. I'm like, no way I want to fight. I wouldn't want that guy coming at me 100%. No fucking way.
Right.
He's just like, when he does that thing.
His power up.
I'm like, no, I'm good.
He gets angry.
That's really intimidating.
Yeah, that's
got
like,
a lot of hate discontent.
That's like when the bull like does like the clawing and then the smoke comes out. Like that's his like thing that he does.
Yeah. Mark's intense, man.
Yeah,
he's a good guy though.
So, how do you guys get into like reffing MMA? Like, what's the whole process for that?
that's this guy.
Yeah,
This guy got
so,
me into it.
So you guys, I'm assuming, started off reffing jiu-jitsu. And
Yeah,
then just kinda,
yeah.
like,
So
met refs through
I
that.
started reffing jiu-jitsu with U.S. Grappling.
Grappling.
Gave me my first shot in
Yeah, way back.
like 2009 probably.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Something like that. 2009, 2010 maybe?
Yeah.
Whatever it was. But I was a pro belt at the time. And I don't know. I started doing that. Nick did it for a little bit. And then Nick kind of fell out of love with it because it was just long fucking days. And they are.
So I think I stopped really doing jiu-jitsu when I got into MMA, roughing MMA, which is 2013. After my last fight, I felt like I was on the wrong side of the call, and I was just like,
He was on the wrong side of the ball.
and,
What was that call? What happened?
it was a split. They gave the guy the split went to him, and I was
Split,
just like,
and the scorecards were something like
it was 30-27 me, 30-27 him, and then 28-29 him, and
Wow.
yeah, and I was just like, so whatever. Anyway, I'm not one just complain. So I was just like, if I think there's problems with the officiating and this stuff, I'm gonna get involved. So put a call into one of the guys who runs one of the sanctioning bodies in Illinois, and kind of just started there, which is kind of funny because I went and I started shadowing, and I went to a couple of events, and just like seeing what like the background work is, what's like what you got to do and stuff. And then I like shadowed a timekeeper and a judge and ref and yada yada yada, and so I started working for the guy, and then like a couple months, 6 months go by, and I had like asked him, I was like, hey, let me try reffing, and he was like apprehensive at first, and I get it, it's just, dudes are in there punching and kicking each other, it's like you got to make sure you know who you put.
He pays the insurance bill, so
Yeah, exactly.
And then he was like apprehensive, and a couple months went by, and I kept bugging him, and then his kid did jiu-jitsu, and he saw me at one of these jiu-jitsu tournaments reffing, and then he was just like, oh, okay, you can ref and you're not an idiot, So he saw that and gave me an opportunity, and so I've been reffing for like the last 3 years, I think. I got my pro license in Illinois and Indiana, although I think my Indiana one lapsed. I'm not renewing.
Okay.
So I mean, when the UFC comes out, or they call you to possibly do it, or how's that work?
Yeah, so I'm one of, to my knowledge, I believe there's 4 of us right now, maybe 5 licensed refs in Illinois, professional MMA referees in Illinois, that are like homegrown. Like we live and we work the pro shows around here.
Right.
There's whenever
referees
the big shows come, they always bring,
but they're
Big
licensed
John
in like
or-
10, 15 states. Some referees.
Oh, yeah.
They go around
Yeah.
and just get licensed everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
Big John, Herb
Yeah,
Dean,
exactly.
Eve Levine,
Yeah.
Dan Rigliotta,
Yeah.
Yamasaki, all those guys.
Yeah.
Right? They, and that's the thing. So it's like, and the commissions, if they don't have people they feel comfortable with, they'll just straight up tell, the promotion, and then the promotion's like, well, call this guy here in Vegas or New Jersey or wherever, and then.
So being on that side of it, you knowing about the bad call or whatever the case may be, how have you seen what goes on and like being able to like impact it?
So there were a lot of guys that were in these positions that I don't believe were knowledgeable of all facets of MMA, or any for that matter, to be honest with you.
Some of them had no fighting experience, probably, right?
None.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad,
Others came from like boxing backgrounds.
Yeah,
And
a lot of them came from boxing, but especially even but specifically at the amateur level, like some of it was just
friends of people.
Yeah,
that
just friends of dudes, and it was.
Hey,
just,
you
like,
want
it
to
was
dress and fight
crazy.
tonight? Okay, I'll pay you $100. Sure.
Yeah, guy's never trained a day in his life,
Yeah, so you can't
It's like,
do that.
yeah, it's
How do I do
crazy.
this?
Yeah.
Which guy would you want to be at the end? That's who you give the fight to.
Right.
Yeah.
What about Bellator when they came into town to the Allstate Arena last month? Did they use any homegrown guys? Or?
They did.
Okay.
They did. They used in the ring. Rob Madrigal was in there, who's a guy I've worked with a lot, and he's kind of mentored me and helped me a lot through this process of becoming a pro ref and then doing that stuff. but yeah, he's the one that they really use in Illinois right now.
Yeah.
For Bellator, UFC.
Right.
Stuff like that.
It's kind of tough because like there was quite a bit of local talent on that
was,
card, so it's like
There's a lot of local talent.
yeah, it's like how do you get a ref who's not buddies with or affiliated somehow with somebody that's on the card, right?
Yeah.
Why is that-
It's
is that-
funny.
is
He
that a
was
problem?
actually he got a call. Well, it was.
So actually, this happened with me, and I think the reality is I'm probably done reffing professionally in Illinois, which I'm okay with because I'd rather coach and do that, right? Because that's like I only got into reffing just to up the level, and I feel I've done that. I feel I've brought new people in and kind of set a standard, set the bar, that like this is what people need to understand. So, and I think we do that. And I think the commission we work with, I think most of the people we work with are pretty knowledgeable about MMA and grappling and boxing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But back to this Bellator thing. So one of my buddies, he's a guy I've been training with a long time, asked me to corner him. So I said, sure. I'm not gonna not corner this guy, right? And so I tell the lady at with the state, and then she's like reached out to me and basically was like, hey, I know you were talking about that. There can be an issue there, but Bellator is looking for another ref to work the back. Do you want to do that? And then I was just like, I'm just going to corner this guy. So,
Right.
yeah, I think that was, probably not the right call to make, but whatever.
I mean, now that you've retired from refereeing, can you speak of the Illinois Commission? I mean, are they good to work with? Are they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I had.
There's no.
I loved working for.
There's no
them.
Patty
It was fun.
Lundvalls or anything.
No,
with them?
no. It's all
They're
great.
all- all
They're
that-
good people. I just.
Yeah.
I'd rather coach. It's
For
like,
sure.
When I started reffing, I didn't have my own gym. But now I have my own gym and like I'm teaching and people ask me to corner them. I'm not going to say no, especially people I've Mike De La Vega's come up through the ranks with us friggin' since he was a teenager. So.
Right. And how many fights did you have?
I had 3 MMA fights, and I have one smoker. Fought in a smoker last September.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a perfect MMA record of 1-1-1. So I kind of retired. I had every emotion, every experience, and I did it. I was like,
"This is great, dude.
This is a wonderful ride." I had the highs, the lows, and
And the right in
That's
betweens.
better than 2-1.
That's for
to
sure.
me. Like 1-1-1.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Right? So and then I did a smoker in September. That was kind of fun, and then I'm gonna go to a Thai boxing tournament in June
Okay.
in Iowa.
Oh,
So how does- how
Thai
does it-
boxing in Iowa?
Yeah.
Okay.
How does it go down with the smokers? Like how does where did this happen at? Who contacted you?
So I'm not gonna put anybody out there, 'cause
Right.
So there are
There's
some
gyms
of these
and there are
gyms,
people that
that
coach this
that
stuff.
do this like fairly regularly,
Right.
and
So like it basically works like, hey, I got a guy who's fighting on a big card. I could use somebody with some experience, come in and bang with one of my guys.
it can be. If
Do you have
coaches
to weigh
dis-
in for a smoker?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you show it. Basically, they put it out there, and anybody can show up. Like anybody can show up and fight in these things.
Right. So it's just an unsanctioned fight, pretty much.
That's all it is.
Gotcha. All right.
And you hear about this through like Facebook or?
Some
Yeah.
people, some
like,
of
hey.
the gyms will do that.
Yeah.
But
when
again, a
you're-
lot of these guys,
it's a small community at the end of the day.
It's a small
so.
community.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking
right.
10, 15 guys that talk to each other and say,
Right.
hey, I'll host an event on this night.
Right.
You bring your fighters. And it's getting real popular these days.
They have like they're at a gym or they outside.
Dude,
in
you literally
parking
walk
lots?
into a place that looks just like this.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah, no
our
doubt.
place?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Right.
I think when I think of that, I think of like that movie Lionheart.
Bottom of the fucking pool and shit.
Right.
Bottom of the pool, right?
Yeah,
We should
because
do that. Right? Set something up like that.
Yeah.
Just some underground
Yeah.
with weapons.
It's what we used to do in the Vives backyard.
Yeah, right.
Like I've heard of smokers, but I've never actually seen one. The closest thing to seeing one I saw was when they were doing like the countdown for the CM Punk's debut. You know, so they were doing like a smoker at Rufus Sport,
mock fight,
a mock fight to simulate like, hey, this is what it's going to feel like or whatever. Is that
fucking no way?
That
you know
wasn't
how
it,
different
right?
it is. The smokers are just like that. But how different it is from fighting in an event, especially in a UFC event,
Okay.
how much production is behind it, you know. And you hear about these guys that, you know, they say, oh, these lights hit you, you know. It's like, dude, legit. When you open that, they open the curtains and bam, there's all these lights, you know?
Right,
like,
right.
you've never fought on a big stage or been like that. You're just like,
it's crazy. Bruce Buffer's like
in your face.
In your face.
Introducing
You're
you.
like, what the fuck? You know?
he gets all fucking pumped up, jumping up and down on his side right before he goes in the cage. It's pretty funny,
The
Bruce-
Buffer.
Bruce-
Yeah.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. He gets fucking
Does
pumped,
the
dude.
180 jump, dude.
He gets fucking pumped before he goes out there. It's pretty intense.
funny.
So are guys coming out of these smokers like all like cut up from
Nah.
elbows and everything?
No,
I mean,
so
Headgear.
until
Shin pads.
yeah, some of them don't even anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if they agree to it. But that's the thing.
But
I
they wear
think
gloves,
it's-
right?
Yeah.
Rope with glass.
I think, you know, for the guys that aren't wearing headgear, it's I think the coach is just more of the senior students, you know, and the coaches kind of agree to it. You know, I hope they're not fucking putting, you know, guys who don't know what the hell they're doing out there. But some of the shit we've seen,
It's, you know, amateur level, you know,
right.
combat
be.
arts is just that.
There's
It's
some weird
amateur
shit
level,
out there,
you know,
man.
so,
There's definitely some weird shit
Yeah.
out there.
yeah.
What about you, Mike? Any MMA or?
No. So, you know, it's kind of funny. I've helped him in his camp. I have even with Eddie Wineland in his camps, you know, eons ago. But, you know, guys around the gym have always asked me, Mike, you gonna fight? You gonna go do that? And I was like, no fucking desire to do that.
Yeah, right.
None. Like, you know, and even still, now that I've got my gym, when I'm at the place, you know, 6-7 days a week, I got a boxing coach that teaches a couple days a week. So I take boxing. I've been taking boxing regularly for the last 2 years, and it's a lot of fun. But I still have no fucking desire to get hit punched in the
No,
face.
I mean, how
man.
old are you
Like,
guys now?
We'll be 38 on Tuesday.
Yeah, and 38 in 1 minute.
Yeah,
on
38
Tuesday.
in 1
Believe
Okay,
it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you got to be. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to
no,
be like
I'm-
24 and like, you know.
yeah,
When was your
exactly.
first fight, Nick?
I was
right after I started. So this is
Yeah,
2006.
2006. Yeah, 27.
27. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 27.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit when you're 38.
No,
It's fun. Yeah, I don't mind that.
See,
like
that's
a-
why
I
he's still
used to-
doing this
yeah,
shit. That's what
I
I'm
used to-
saying. Like, this is fucked
On
up.
Friday
Like,
night,
he
I
does
go
this
over
shit. Like,
to,
Right.
we're as much as like, hey, we're twins, right? We're from the same embryo egg, whatever. We're fucking cut from two different cloths
Yeah,
because
Right.
you fucking punch me one time, I'm just be like, dude, I'm done. Fucking leave me
Yeah,
alone.
that's why you have to say yes to Cristiano Rivero match, you know. Right. Since Daniel calls you like, my brother's gonna call me a pussy if I don't take this fight. You know? Like, I'll take it.
Exactly.
How many degrees? 4? Good.
It's one of those. So yeah, no desire to do that. I mean, you know, again, I train and it's fun, you know, and
Yeah.
I'll get in the, you know, and some of my guys, you know, now that I have a place, some of my guys have talked and expressed interest. Younger guys, you know, 20-year-olds or whatever. And I said, yeah, when you guys are ready, you know, I was like, just keep working your striking, keep working your ground game. You know, I mean, I think as coaches, my brother and myself, we have, you know, pretty high standards of what we expect our students, especially if you're going to go fight. I mean,
Yeah.
being involved with the MMA scene that we are, you know, the way we are, it's like, we see so much fucking shit, and I'm never gonna put my stamp on that. I'm sorry, like, you know, I've seen some good guys come out, and you know, some, you know, there's a handful of coaches that, you know, do it right, and they make sure that, you know, they're grooming their fighters, and they're teaching them all aspects of the game and whatnot. And then there's other coaches that I don't know what the fuck they do.
Don't lose.
Win, fucking legit. Yeah, you're just like, man, it's like,
You dig deep and you fucking win.
Yeah, like Rhonda's coach. When she's getting
yeah,
pummeled,
almost,
don't do
yeah.
that. Don't do that.
yeah, literally, exactly.
What?
Put your hands up. No fucking shit, dickhead.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
what do you think she should be doing?
Right.
So I mean, yeah, just when we hear that stuff, you know, it's like, yeah, like, you know, I will eventually be in the corner, you know, cornering one of my guys that's gonna want to do it. I mean, I'm probably, you know, realistically, you know, years away from that because I have a high standard. I don't want these guys to go out there and even still, like I tell all my guys, even at the amateur level, I mean, you guys really should come out to one of these things. You could be totally one-dimensional and you could fucking dominate and have a 10-0 amateur record and be 100% a one-dimensional fighter.
Yeah.
Because it's amateur fucking MMA.
Right.
You know, it's become a little bit less and less of that, I believe. I mean, the last couple of years, but that we've been around it. But, you know, I think, you know, anyone that's going to fly my banner should be well-rounded.
Not suck.
Not suck. Not suck, exactly. So, yeah. So with that, no MMA for me, none of that striking stuff. You know, I just do jiu-jitsu. It's fun, you know. And again, like I said earlier, what's the worst thing that happens in jiu-jitsu? You tap.
Right, exactly.
You know,
unless you don't tap like that.
Unless you don't tap and your arm
that
pops,
one-
that shit.
Was that ADCC?
Oh,
that guy
my God.
cracked his arm.
Did you guys see that?
Nasty.
No, I didn't. So
And it's just-
I fucking got a really weak stomach for that shit. I don't like seeing that stuff, and so I fucking hate.
Are you
seeing
on
it.
social media like Facebook and Instagram?
It's everywhere.
everywhere,
fucking-
yeah.
I won't.
Nuts,
I never
yeah.
click on that shit to read.
Oh,
to
because
watch
it does warn you, right?
Yeah,
Graphic.
because
It
you
does
see,
work.
it's like, oh, you got to see this shit, and it's like,
Yeah,
fuck,
like
I'm
it's like
watching that.
not for the faint heart. I'm like, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm definitely
back,
watching
like,
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Misha Tate, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. No, it's from like.
Is it
Kimura.
I mean,
Yeah,
cool. Oh, so it's
yeah,
what's his name?
Yeah.
Like Aoki versus.
Yeah.
I watched that one. That was fucking gross, dude.
Yeah,
Did you guys see that fight where Shinya Aoki and Dream, was it Dream? I think it was Dream, where he fucking has the Kimura locked on, and these guys were really fucking going back and forth beforehand, and the guy said, I don't give a fuck what happens, I'm not tapping.
Yeah.
And he didn't fucking tap to a Kimura until he didn't tap at all. They stopped it when his arm spun around the fucking all the way.
Yeah, this was worse. This was worse than Frank Mir and Nogueira.
Yeah,
This was like, because Nogueira's like shoulder popped out on that one. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like laying down.
yeah,
when
it
that
like
happened.
dislocated.
This dude was like, it was in the air.
This dude's whole arm just shattered. It sounded like if you're at a baseball game and just that crack of the bat on the, it's just like crack. The whole crowd was like, oh,
I was just
shit.
reffing a jiu-jitsu tournament a handful of months ago in February, and they have it was at the Max Expo Center, and they have like batting cages, and guys are hitting bats. I have white belt match, and this guy gets stuck in an Americana from side control, and it's the loudest fucking snap I've heard. I don't know what happened, but it was loud, and one of those, like a fucking bat hitting a ball. I was like, dude, don't move. I was like, just breathe. I was like, medics on their way.
Yeah.
Was it was a wipeout? You said
White belt, yeah.
Where was this at?
What's the worst that can
This is
happen,
at
guys?
the,
It's just
the
jiu-jitsu.
New Breed Underground is the tournament, or New Breed Ultimate Challenge. It was,
Uh-huh,
it was
yeah.
a tournament, yeah, but it was at the Max Expo Center in McCook. It was
I did that one.
fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one.
it was grossest sound I've ever heard.
I think that was Michael from 10th Planet.
Oh, that was him.
Yes.
Oh, you know?
Yeah,
wait.
that is him.
So, like, yeah, this kid was like, it was
White
first
belt,
tournament.
first
First
tournament,
tournament.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking was really
God,
pumped.
are
I
you
was like,
kidding me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
that's
coach
right,
walked
that's
over to me and
Michael.
told me that. I was like, oh my God, this kid's never going to fucking do jiu-jitsu.
No,
Is he
he's
still
training right now
Awesome.
with the
He's
sleeve
got an
on.
arm brace
He's
on,
an arm
and
brace.
he's drilling double leg takedowns in the gym. It's like,
God.
he's
He's
just
coming
like-
back, huh? Good for him.
Yeah,
Good
he's,
for
he's
him.
just staying active. I mean, he's not
Good.
being an idiot about it, but like he's
Good.
like, you know, he's shrimping down the mat and shit like that with the arm.
Well,
brace.
that's positive to hear because
Yeah.
I had a student that we were drilling entangled arm sweeps and it was really just a freak accident. He went one way, his partner took him the other way, and he went shoulder first into the mat and fucking blew up his clavicle in 4 fucking pieces. And I believe it was right before I gave him his blue belt. Maybe right after, but I was like, Ethan, you're never gonna fucking train jiu-jitsu again, are you? I was like, you fucking probably hate jiu-jitsu. You know, I was like, here you are, fucking stuck in a sling. This guy's like a professional salesman and shit like that. And now he's all fucked up, right? And the coolest thing he ever said to me was literally as he, I believe it was like the day after. He's like, he's like, Mike, man. He's like, I'm all in, man. He's like, I'm coming back. He's like, and so he's like, I'm gonna get through this and I'll be back. And sure enough, you know, it was 6 months off but he's back. He's training. Been training with me nonstop. No.
That's
so that's
great,
great to
man.
hear about Michael, man. Tell
Yeah.
him I'm happy to hear. That
Yeah,
he's-
for
he's-
sure.
He's training. Or if you're listening, Mike, good for you, buddy.
That's got to help the salesman gig, though. I mean, like, you walk into the place with the sling on, and they're like, what's the deal? And you're like, yeah, I train jiu-jitsu. You know,
Yeah,
they're
right.
like, I like this guy. You know? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a story off the bat.
Yeah,
Instead of
it's
just
a talking point for
instead
sure.
of like the small talk, like, hey, nice to meet you.
so the
You know?
butter's nice, yeah.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But he might just like constantly rock a sling now. Like, you know what? My sales have doubled since I broke my arm. It just like has the sling in the trunk now.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an electrician, so I make my money like with my body. So
For
I'm
sure.
totally fucked if I have a bad
That's
injury
what I'm
like
saying.
that. I mean, like I'm constantly like, this is jacked or this is jacked, you know. But like, like a snapped arm, like that's Fucksville.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's tough. How do you work with one fucking arm?
right. You don't.
Hey, do me a favor, Paulie. Run this
Yeah.
pipe. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
fuck that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So we saw you reffing XFO.
Yeah,
What was that,
the
like-
grappling.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun. You know,
Dude, were you a little worried about that? The size of that ring?
no, you know,
Did it
no.
look bigger
Yeah.
standing on it?
It looks small.
Standing on it, it's a lot bigger. You know, again, reffing, you know, the MMA the way that we have, you know, and I know that there's the edge of the cage and shit that's going to prevent people from falling fucking stage.
That's- yeah.
My biggest concern was right at the edge of the mat, like every so many feet, there was like an extra piece of wood that was probably like this
Right.
thick right on top, and so there's
Yeah.
fucking hard edges and corners and shit
Yeah.
like that, and if someone gets thrown on that, so you know, as a referee, you know, when you're MMA, jiu-jitsu, whatever, like your job is to not just officiate and make sure everything stays legal, but your job is to be the barrier between the competitors and whatever obstacle they could run into. A table at a jiu-jitsu tournament or a grappling event like this, the edge of the mat, you know. So it was just having to manage
you were
that
busy
stuff.
out there that day, man. Because there was, I mean,
There's
every 2 seconds the guys were like on the edge, and you were like trying to get
having
Yeah.
I was it was
Safety of fighters.
Safety of fighters. It's
Number one thing,
Number
right?
one importance, right? I knew it was going to be a long night. It was like 2 minutes into the first match, and I was fucking sweating my ass off. I was like, fuck, this is going to suck. Dude. You know, there's,
Like
there's
20
no
more
other
matches
refs.
to go.
Exactly. There's no other refs, so like I can't get a break. You know, when we do MMA, it's like you're going to do 2-3 tops,
Yeah.
and then you're going to get to, you know, sit or rest or whatever, you know. But like, I was like, fuck, man, I'm in like 16 fights or whatever it was. Like, fuck, this is going to suck.
Yeah, yeah. I don't get the intermission on those events. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why is there intermission?
Mike gets it.
Uh,
He's like, fuck you,
yeah,
bro.
Well, if there's one referee, he definitely gets it because he's gonna be dog shit tired. But no, it's like my brother just insinuated to. It's money, dollars and cents, man. If there's nothing going on in that stage over there, I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'm gonna go have
right.
a drink, and so they can sell the concessions. They
It's a
get
mandatory thing.
yeah,
probably.
you know.
I
For
don't,
the MMA
I'm not a
events.
drinker, so that's why I don't understand.
Don't you know the restaurant business?
I do, but you know, I just want to see the fights, man. Just fight.
It's
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
hey, as workers, we want the same thing. We're just like, let's get these on, let's get out of
Let's
here.
get out. Yeah.
So
Get them
MMA,
out.
they have to use the intermission sometimes to, you know, somebody gets hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we have to have medics and
Yeah.
doctors, you know, ringside and shit like that.
Yeah.
We're not like a pro event where sanctioning body, the state has like fucking
Yeah,
5 doctors
multiples,
on
yeah.
staff and, you know, multiple medics and shit like that. So.
Right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just like to see the fights. Just let's go.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
I'm with you.
So-
How many fights were that night?
I think 15, 14, 15,
Yeah.
16, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It was in there. So,
Like fight to win. How many are on that? 20
30.
something? 30.
30 matches supposedly right now.
Yeah. That's
a
As
lot.
long as
That's a
everyone shows
lot.
up and makes
But
That's
they've got
jiu-jitsu.
enough referees. They rotate them out.
Yeah,
And stuff.
so they use, I think 3 or 4 guys. I know there's one on the mat and then there's 2 on the side, but I believe they generally have 4. I think they had 4 last time, and they would rotate them out. So,
So the judges are
They
the
ref,
refs?
yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
now
Rotate 'em out.
are they sitting by each other now?
yeah, I believe. Yeah, I asked
still
Iceberg
sitting next to
last
each
one.
other.
I said, "Did you know for fight to win?" Oh, I don't know if they're still sitting at the last one at 13. They did.
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
at 13 they sat at the same table.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't, right? Do you agree they shouldn't sit at the same table?
Something that I picked up from, and I think this is off. I don't see any lights on anymore.
I don't see it either. It's okay.
Something that I picked up from working MMA that I had no idea until I started working. But you know, if this is the cage here, what you see, what I see, and what he sees are 4 different things,
Right. Sure.
because of where you're sitting. So I absolutely think that they should be on different parts of the mat. But
Well, for the IBJJF, for the black belt matches, they
Yeah,
got corner,
like corner
finals.
center,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, that and just them talking amongst each other
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Shouldn't.
Either, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because
Well,
one
grappling-
guy is going to say something, might
It's gonna change his
influence the
bias,
other two.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Grappling games, they had it on the corners, like the IBJJF.
Yeah. That Izzy, that was Izzy Reyes at Movimiento. He
Yeah.
was he's their head ref when they come to Chicago, and he was like, yeah, no, because I was there, and so he was
Yeah.
like, let's
Yeah.
put him up there,
Makes
because we
sense.
talked about it, we were like, dude, what do you want us to do? Because Amy, the promoter, she was like, Izzy, you take care of it,
Yeah.
and we're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, yeah, let's put him up there. Sure. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have to give fight to win the benefit of the doubt, though. You know, like it was the show got pushed to the outside.
Yeah,
and
they were
might have got
scrambling.
switched around.
It's true.
So
They were scrambling. I don't know how
that
they
might
do it at other
not
shows.
be how they do it always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So formats wise, because you ref a lot of jiu-jitsu, tournaments. What do you like? Do you like EBI? Do you like IBJJF? Do you like fight to win?
So at the end of the day, I really liked how XFO Dan Lardy did that. So I like the sub only.
Okay.
No points.
Okay.
But timed, because if you've ever been to a sub only grappling tournament where there is no time limit,
I have. I've competed in one.
That's crazy, right? It's fucking boring as a referee when two guys just get tired. It's like just like MMA, two guys get really tired. They could have all the technique in the world, if they have no gas, no power, they can't do enough to damage and finish the fight. And so now it's like, oh well, here we go, we're going to ride it out to the end.
Right.
Well, what happens if there is no end?
Right.
You get an hour and 45-minute match, and you're just like, get the fuck out of here, you know. So that sucks when it comes to sub only. But you know, XFO they did a timed sub only,
Like a Metamoris?
yeah, kinda. But then what he did for overtime was he took like EBI's thing, but instead of doing the 3 rounds of overtime, which doesn't make any sense, he did 1 round of overtime, and he got rid of the everything else, the spider web and whatever the third one was, and he's like, it's back with hooks, seatbelt grip, and go. You know, flip a coin. Who gets to decide? You know, are you going to attack first, or are you going to defend first? And
so why do you sorry to cut you off, but why do you say the 3 rounds didn't make sense for the EBI?
Because then it's cumulative, right? Why not just listen? These guys just fought for however long, right? Let's give them one shot. You're going to take his back with hooks, and you got to finish him, right? He escapes in 45 seconds. Now he takes your back with hooks. You have 45 seconds to escape. We go back the other way. You had him the first time, and you finished him in 30 seconds. Well, now he has to finish you in 30 seconds, right? So it's one-shot deal, like, you know, go. It shouldn't have to be, you know, cumulative. You ready? Okay, now let's switch. Let's do this. Let's do that. Fuck it. Just
Well,
do
on
one
it,
shot, man.
on it, Invitational did EBI rules, and instead of the 3 overtimes, they did 1. And Eddie Bravo was actually there, commentating, and he was kind of like upset that they only did 1, because his philosophy is if there's only 1 overtime round, guys are just going to hang on for ride time.
Yeah.
But if there's 3, they feel like they can go for the submission because they could always catch up on ride time with the other 2 rounds or whatever. So he goes, the main object is to get more submissions. So he likes the 3.
Just riding out the entire 10-minute match to get to that round, right?
Right.
And that's what
there's
you're
that
getting
argument too, right?
Yeah.
There's no perfect rule set.
Which is what I noticed. So I was watching the ADCC trials, and I noticed that the black belt matches, the first 10 minutes, they're basically playing patty cake standing up.
Yep.
Nothing's
There's
fucking
no
happening.
points. Yeah. They're not going to do anything.
No points.
They're
They
not
don't
doing anything.
Don't commit.
No commit.
Non-committal.
So
to
why even
anything.
have the first 10 minutes? That's what
what
I
I'm
think.
saying.
Kill it. Just have a 10-minute match.
This is why
and-
jiu-jitsu will never be in the Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not
no one's ever gonna watch
spectator
this.
friendly.
But you would think there'd be a lot more risk taking in the first 10
You would
minutes.
think- I thought
'cause
that
there's
also,
no
but-
points.
Well, okay, there's one guarantee that you can do to make guys go get it. Pay them,
right.
right? But who the fuck runs a tournament and is going to start, you know, paying all these guys, you know? But you got to really incentivize these guys, you know? I mean, what's going to incentivize these guys, you know? $100, $500, $1,000? Hey, listen, I'll pay you $1,000. Okay, now you have 30 fights, $1,000, 30 people go get submissions. Just cost you 30 fucking grand to put on that show.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
You haven't sold, you know, how many tickets did you sell? Did you sell enough to cover that? You know, all your production? So again, at the end of the day, it's, you know, you got to have deep pockets if you really, really want to.
You got to do it like the UFC.
I
did.
mean, they've got
You
to
gotta
have some
start-
deep pockets, ADCC.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, ADCC does. I mean, that's all oil money, man. Those guys,
Right.
they
That's
run that
fuck
shit.
you money.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fuck you money. They don't care.
So why you think
That's
they're
why they
not-
do their, you know, 50 or 20,000, 10 grand to win your division, 20,
Yeah.
50 or whatever for the absolute or whatever.
Right.
But the guys aren't going for the submissions. They're just going to win that 2 points or whatever. And it's
Well, in the trials maybe, but when you go to fucking Abu Dhabi and it's
You're not-
those guys are fucking going to kill each other and they don't care. Their teammates they'll go and kill each other because they know fucking at the end of the day they're going to get paid.
Right. And
So
then
that's
the
why you
winners
get-
give privates to the sheik and everything.
Yeah.
And that's like
Yeah, money.
undisclosed money,
Fuck
you know?
dude.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheik Tahoon, that's fucking Hensel's guy, right? That's that
Right.
guy. That guy's got a black belt. He's a black belt under Henzo and was flying Henzo out for whatever, extended periods of time. Just train me jujitsu.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
That's real fucking gangster, dude. With a flying one of the originals.
Imagine his facility.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah. On the east wing of the house.
You ever been to Abu Dhabi?
No.
No?
No. Never been to the Middle East.
No.
He has.
Yeah.
You guys compete out of state ever? Or ever travel for competition?
This St.
Go to
Louis. I
Worlds?
mean, I went to Pans in 2012 and got my arm popped. That was my first match. So I flew all out to California and had my arm fucking popped 3 times. That was
Good
fun.
times.
Yeah.
Didn't tap or just
I
came on
did.
quick?
It came on fast. I probably could have tapped, but I'm a dumb fuck. So,
Right.
a year later, my arm is, for the most part, back to normal.
Right.
It's pretty normal now.
Right in time for Pans again.
But yeah, so that was the last time I went to Pans. I don't know if I have kids and shit now, so life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Made Pans a couple times. Pro belt, brown belt. I think the last time I competed in jiu-jitsu was at American Grappling, I think. We did a Nogi, that me, Mark, and Bob, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Against,
Dustin Ware's thing?
Yeah, against Chewy, against Nick Elvin.
Yeah, Nick Elvin.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man. That was a long time ago, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone always
5
talks
years
about
ago.
how amazing the atmosphere is out there. I mean, how would you compare it to something like, let's say, the Chicago Open?
For what? For like
Pans?
the
Something?
Pans, yeah.
It's ginormous, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's bigger, There's a lot of big names out there. There's a lot more Brazilians. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's like kind of nice when it's here because you just like go home.
Right.
You can't go back to your bed.
But I mean, it's kind of nice being out in California, right? You go out there and it's California when you're done, right? You're in SoCal. So
Yeah.
It's, and I think that's why all the Brazilians, because all this used to be in Brazil, right? And then when they moved it over here, I actually think it wasn't always in California. I think it was a couple places around the country, and then they were just like,
Fuck this weather. Let's go to
they're
California.
like, we're not going to leave Brazil to fucking come here and go to the Midwest and fucking freeze.
Yeah, no,
Right.
Ohio. That was
Yeah.
because that's where the Riberos were. Zanja and Sala were in
Something like that,
Ohio
right?
first. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe they were in Ohio before Helson.
Jeez.
Yeah. And now they're just like,
Fuck you,
IBJJF,
San
like,
Diego.
fuck you.
We're gonna surf.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
that winter snow shit.
But I mean, it's like a big process now, right? Everybody goes out there, and all the headquarters have camps and shit. It's just like big now, right?
Yeah.
I just want to go out there just for the camps. I don't want to do the fucking tournaments.
Yeah.
I just want to train.
Be in a room with
Bunch of fucking-
7 guys that
Yeah.
all medaled at Worlds and
Oh, that'd be
ADCC
so awesome.
and
Yeah.
but you gotta pay fucking money, dude.
I'm okay. I'd pay fucking money to get on a mat with that. I'm okay.
Fucking,
with that.
my shirt's Atos, right? So yeah, one of my students is out there. He moved out there and he's training in San Diego now, and it's fucking so expensive.
Yeah.
A day drop in. What do you think a day drop in is there?
$50.
$80.
Ooh.
You could pay $250 for the week.
What's a monthly there?
$250.
Oh, okay.
$250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
Wow.
Who do you want to visit? $250 a fucking week.
Yeah.
But
sorry,
but that's the deal.
fucking killers.
Yeah, exactly.
Killers,
like fucking
dude.
I was teaching class, Fucking
Josh
oh look, there's
Hinger
Keena
just-
Cornelius, Exactly.
Josh Hinger just was mowing through black belts at the Chicago.
Yeah.
Open. I mean,
my
like
God.
35-second tap, 38-second
crazy.
tap. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
That's what happens when
mowing
you're in a
through
room with fucking the best of the best, I mean,
yeah.
you get up to that level. That's
You
the only way
elevate.
to get to that
It's the only
level,
way.
So
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, when you roll with higher rank, you just elevate you. So it elevates your game a lot.
that's why I don't mind going against Christiana.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
You got it. You're going to
Be
rise
better
to the
at the end of
occasion.
about it.
Exactly.
Do you game plan for events like this, or do you just kind of like
So I mean,
Roll with
you try to game plan, based on who your opponent is, but at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu, right?
Right.
So, we've had many a talks about, what's competition strategies, what's a proper blueprint, Smartest, I think the most efficient blueprint would be, takedown, pass, mount, back, or whatever, finish from there, right? And that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah.
There's a whole, level of guys that think, oh, no, I should pull guard, I'm going to attack from there, I'll sweep, and then I'll get on top, and then I'm going to be able to start to apply that same type of game. So, what I tell my students all the time You know, it's, I wanted to do the jiu-jitsu that works.
Right. Yeah.
At the end of the day, do what works.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. You know, I mean, I've got an idea of where I want this match to go and how it's gonna to go, but until you're
exactly
4 or 5 minutes in, you really have no idea what's gonna happen. And
game plans change quick.
Yeah, real fast. So
what kind of preparation are you doing?
Training hard with a lot of guys. You know,
2 days, 3 days.
I wish. You know, I've got an almost 4-year-old at home and an almost 2-year-old at home. So
I heard Cristiano's doing 4 days right now.
You know, I don't think he does. I seriously think
drop out.
Yeah, right? I'm pretty sure he just teaches jiu-jitsu. You know, I don't think he has a
camp,
a life outside of like a work outside of that. I have a full-time job outside of teaching jiu-jitsu. You know, so I mean.
And you run a gym too, right?
Yeah, you know, I teach, you know, and I run my gym in the evenings, you know, so I train 6-7 days a week generally, you know, and I don't know, I subscribe to the Marcelo Garcia school of like, you know, what do you do? Like I do more jujitsu.
Right. Yeah.
What do you do for cardio? I do jujitsu, well, you know, faster, harder, you know. How do you get stronger? I roll with bigger guys.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, doing a lot of that stuff is,
Right.
you know, you know, to get you more just game ready, game speed, you know. I mean, as instructors and owners, you know, the onus is on us to make sure our guys all rise together, right? So we have to alter our game and bring ourselves down to their levels and present them, you know, who they need so that they can work on the techniques or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you know, when I get the match, I tell my guys, sorry guys, I'm gonna start turning it up, and when we roll, I'm gonna give you fucking dick, and you're just gonna get the sausage. Sorry.
Right.
So
yeah. So I mean, do you do any cross training too? I mean, like
no, you know, I used to, you know, when that was 2012 when I went to the Pans and stuff like that. Like I used to do, you know, a lot of road work and running and lifting weights, and I don't have time for that anymore.
No, cross training, not CrossFit. Like training with other gyms.
Yeah, no, Antoine actually. Me and Antoine, we got together last week. You know, Mark came out for that too. So,
okay, cool.
You know, I went to his gym one day and we got some training in. He came out to my gym the next day. Mark came out that same day, so I got it in with Mark. We did a big open mat Saturday last week, and me and my bro here got a bunch of rounds in. And Carlos Archila, who's on the card as well, runs like County BJJ. He came out to my gym Wednesday night this week, I think. And so, yeah, you know, I mean, we've been doing a lot of that, you know. I mean, there's, I don't know, like 7 of us, I think, or something like that, 8 of us from Bonsai New Breed that are all affiliated on this card. So we've all kind of been getting
awesome.
together, training hard.
Because sometimes you could be like the best guy at your gym, right? Maybe not even have a black belt under you at the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you got to get those.
So between you two, how's it go?
This guy all day. I'm not, you know.
That's 60 seconds, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you know, he's got the wrestling. He knows. He's good. At the end of the day, he's really good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So, you know, I encourage you guys both to train with him at some point in your lives, you know. But it's fun. No, you know, I mean, we have good scraps, you know. It's back and forth, you know. It's, you know.
I'll never forget the first time he caught me.
It's a wrist lock or some shit.
No. Like it was an armbar, and I think I was a blue belt and you were a white belt at the time, and I was just like, I'm just gonna beat the fuck out of this guy from now on.
Right.
No more missing ice.
No more, and it hasn't let up since then.
Fuck no.
It's gotta be great though, man. Growing up and like having that, you know, it's nice, man. I got sisters, so I don't have that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely, you know, it's, you know, I don't know. We've, like you said earlier, we've been wrestling and scrapping and doing that shit our whole lives, you know. Just that's what we do, you know. I mean, we're twins, you know. We're born competitive, you know, competing for fucking everything.
Right.
You know?
Same
So-
space.
Same
Right.
space,
Everywhere.
right? So,
Any other siblings?
You have an older sister?
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So
That's great.
You know, feel sorry for her. She had to deal with us.
exactly, we were fucking monsters when we were little. You know?
So tell us about your gyms. How did those get started? Where are they?
I'm at Illinois Grappling Club. I'm 2631 Kirchhoff in Rolling Meadows. It's northwest suburbs. 2000, right after the Pans, right after I hurt my arm at the Pans, an opportunity presented itself to teach at a gym up in Palatine. And it was a program that was pre-existing and had gone through changes from some big names to some other smaller names to some names that really didn't give a shit about it. And it was just, hey, Mike, you want to teach at this gym? And I was like, sure. And I knew that what that meant was that I was going to barely be able to get to New Breed and train because I would now be focusing on those guys. And to a statement you just made about what happens when you're the best guy in the room, how do you train? When we started, Mark was a purple belt, you know?
Yeah.
And literally all he had was, Quan was a blue belt. I don't know who else. Maybe Chong maybe got one eventually. But, I mean, it was literally Mark and Quan, the only two colored. Everyone else was fucking white belts. But he got pretty good. Right? So, I mean, you can, you know, you just have to understand how you train and stuff like that. So, anyway, going back to that, you know, I taught at that gym for a couple of years and you know, it got to the point where it just made sense to go separate ways and you know, me to take my guys and the guys that wanted to come with me. And I think I took like 10 students or something like that, and which was less than what I thought I'd get. And, you know, so I was like, well, fuck, man, am I going to, is this going to work?
Right.
What's going to happen? You know, but here I am. July 15th will be 2 years since the day I got my keys. So, you know, I'm a couple months shy of that. And it's good, you know, it's growing and it's picking up steam, and, you know, my guys love it. I have fun, you know, I keep it real light. That was like the big thing about it. Like, you know, if you said you train with Mark, like he runs like a real tight ship. He's very regimented and he's very meticulous about how he does it. And it's almost military-esque, you know, and, him being in the military, he was never going back to that shit. And me, like, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing that stuff. Like, dude, it's jujitsu. Like, you know, I tell all my guys, you know, at the end of the day, my job is not to teach them a technique or a set of techniques. My job is to show them the art that I fell in love with. And if I can do that, they'll fall in love with it and they'll stick with it.
Right. Yeah.
And then my job is done. Right. Cool. I have a training partner forever. So that's, you know, kind of what I do, you know, and was the impetus behind why I wanted to start my gym, because we were coming from a place where it wasn't really like that. And so my guys pushed me for it. The opportunity presented itself. And here I am, you know, Illinois Grappling Club.com.
Nice. Where'd you come? I mean, why'd you think? I mean, Illinois Grappling Club is.
So it's funny. I remember the phone call. It was me, my brother, and one of my other guys, purple belt, John Garvin's marketing kid, real smart. And we were just like, you know, what do you want to call the place? You know, do you want it to be, you know, regional? Do you want it to, you know, go fuck yourself jiu-jitsu? What do you want it to be called? And we toyed with some names back and forth, and, you know, like Rolling Meadows, like Jiu-Jitsu Academy, Rolling Meadows. And I was like, I don't know. What if I'm not always in Rolling Meadows? Arlington Heights is right down the street. Elk Grove is right down the street. So many, like, what happens if I move and then I got to change the fucking name of it again? Right. And so we said, all right, let's drop Rolling Meadows. Just call it Illinois something. I said, that makes sense. And then from there, I don't know. We ended up with Illinois Grappling and then Illinois Grappling Club instead of an academy, because I wanted the idea to be it's a club. It's a place where people, you know, come and hang out and you know, get away from life and the bullshit monotony of the everyday
unplug,
grind.
yeah, for
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
So that was the big thing behind it. So Illinois Grappling Club.
Yeah, that works.
.com.
.com.
Nice. What about you, Nick?
So my gym is Chicago School of Grappling. We are located at 722 South Racine, which is over by UIC, in the UIC area. I started because I actually lived in the building. I used to live above the gym, which was super cool.
Yeah.
And real convenient. And I was training at a couple places, and it was just difficult to get to New Breed, you know, because it's like basically the south side over there. And all my work was south and west side. So had the opportunity to take that spot below me in that apartment. So, and it's a small space, you know. It's only, I think we got just under 600 square feet of mat space, you know. Wow. So it's a small space, but we fucking get in. Yeah, it's cozy. Yeah, I've had 27 people on those mats before, you know, and that's awesome. Yeah, we're slammed and packed, but you know, it's big enough for me to get it in. Actually, I started because I couldn't get the New Breed, so I needed a place to train, you know. Right. So like this was it. It was like an opportunity to to open up my own spot and train. And then I moved up to Morton Grove. And now I live 2 minutes from New Breed. Everybody I see.
How's that for life?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God. Kick in the nuts.
Yeah, but Chicago School of Grappling. It's that's where we're at. Come by, check us out. I'm there.
So why don't you guys meet halfway in
New Breed?
we big school? No, the two of you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Join forces. Unite the clans.
I live out in Schaumburg.
Yeah.
I'm in the Schaumburg area, so I'm way the fuck out west.
Yeah.
And so like that was the thing. Like even like when we first started and New Breed was in Evanston, like I was making a trek. It was 37 miles, almost 40 miles door to door. And I was like, fuck, man, that's a lot. So and as he moved Skokie and then to Niles, he's a little bit closer, but it was still 35 miles instead of the 37 miles.
In Chicago traffic and
It's brutal.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was. I don't know. And then Mark, we got enough affiliates. Mark's got enough affiliates that are all spread throughout the city. So, everyone's kind of got their own little territory.
What's up with these headphones? They just went
They just
way
got
up,
louder, yeah.
didn't
Did
they?
they just get louder?
Yeah,
I know.
Did the podcast just start right now?
No, it didn't.
Okay, good.
But I just noticed that they just got really loud.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Did I kick something?
I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
I'm just waiting for that one day where we
Hour in,
have,
and it's by the way, we didn't record any of this.
I hate to knock on
That's
wood. I
never
hate to
gonna happen.
okay. I hate to jinx it, but could you imagine? Shit, there's too much data on the chip or something. Fuck. Can you guys hang out for another hour and a half? Say the exact same shit.
Is that better? I don't know. I lowered it a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
Now it sounds like what it was before.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But I have this camera. We just bought this. So this is a 360 camera. That's why it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it just turned off 20 minutes ago, but I don't know why.
Maybe it did. Maybe it's just saving battery or something.
I don't know. It's not blinking anymore.
Yeah, I don't
So,
think it
but
does.
the whole idea of this, we're going to start trying to film the podcast. 'Cause we throw it up on YouTube regardless. So it's just audio on YouTube, though.
Zito's under the impression that people want to watch us talk.
Watch you talk.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, they do. Okay.
Yeah, maybe Joe Rogan or somebody, not fucking us.
But what's so cool about the 360 is that people who are into VR, they can throw it on and then look around
sit there and
sit
talk
there.
and stare at
no
us.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're in the room?
Yes,
Oh,
they're in
that's
the room.
fucked up.
Yeah,
that's tricky.
exactly.
Flipping the birds to the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool. No one else is doing it right now, so I'm trying to be cutting edge, man.
All right.
Yeah, that is.
Cut that edge. So what's up? This thing only has an hour of battery life or something?
No, because I have it plugged in,
right?
so I don't know why it turned off. So we'll have to. Young Bruno will have to check it out for us. I don't know. He's gonna stitch it all together and do all that stuff. But this was a first trial, so we'll see. If it didn't work out,
Crash and fucking burn.
yeah, I know. I don't know why it turned off, but
So do you guys do visitors at your gym, or do you have dedicated open mat times, or do you just kind of anyone can just roll through and drop in?
Come by whenever.
Yeah, man. Open
Totally
door policy.
open,
Yeah, that's So it's kind of funny. I won't name names and I won't mention teams, but I've got guys that train with other instructors, Brazilian or not, that do not, look. They don't allow or like their students to go and train with other people.
Cross train.
Cross train.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I've got it's funny. I had 2 guys in today. I had 2 purple belts in today. One purple belt who's legit just carries a fucking membership with me. Another one who just pays drop-in fees. I had a brown belt drop into my open mat on Friday. Friday night's my open mat, 6 to 8 p.m. Welcome to anyone. Free, completely free. So
6 to 8?
6 to 8 Fridays. On Fridays,
cool.
yeah, man. Always welcome, But yeah, so, I don't know. No politics here, man. We just want to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Did you open mat gi and no gi? Or
Gi, no gi, whatever the fuck you want to do.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. More importantly, we actually, my brother kind of was the one him and Mark kind of spearheaded and started it. There's a small Facebook page. Not a lot of people know. It's a private page for, what is it called? Chicago Fight Club or something like that. Chicago BJJ Fight Club or something like that. But it's for brown and black belts only in the city of Chicago.
We've heard about that
in the
page.
surrounding area. You have to know someone to get onto that page, but we once in a while we try to get together, just heads and top guys, top dogs from the various teams, and we just get together and train. No ego, no bullshit politics.
leave your phones and cameras at the door.
No, fuck that. We take pictures. We take pictures and we post them all the time, and that's the whole thing. It's how it should be. It's jiu-jitsu,
Yeah,
right?
grow the community together.
And it's awesome, man. I've seen, fucking Adem Redzovic and fucking Jeff Surf and go roll hardest fucking balls. And then sit there and discuss what they just did, and fucking like 3 months later end up competing against each other, and it was no big deal.
No big deal.
It's fucking how it should be.
Yeah, but Seraphin and Adam, they're both really good.
Awesome.
I was just at Open Mat at Seraphin's on Friday.
Nice.
It's fucking
I
great.
see that, man. I gotta
Dude,
get down there one of those days, man.
I gotta come by.
He's such a nice guy, man.
I'm gonna come by. I'm not.
You're fucking 3 blocks away,
Yeah,
dick.
but I always go to Muay Thai though on Friday nights.
Well, you have to
I told
skip
you, he
one,
likes
right?
to punch and kick.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
dude, I have to punch and kick each other. you
I'm
know?
going to be at Resnovic's tomorrow, 4:45 Open Mat. Nice. So we'll see how that goes.
Which location?
Lincoln Square.
Okay.
Yeah.
The original.
My
that right?
my purple belt
OG?
John Garvin's actually just signed up at the downtown location, the Loop. So he just started training there because it's just
Yeah.
too far to. He was
Yeah,
going to go train
yeah.
with Nick, but he lives River North and sold his car as soon as he moved down there. So he's like, "Fuck it, I can walk there."
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, no, man, it's city living, dude. You go what's fucking on your block, dude. It was like, you know, for
sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love visiting other gyms.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
just so
It's
many
good.
so many
See
looks,
different
so many.
looks. Yeah, man.
It's just
Good
can't
for
see
you.
people.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tight community. You know?
Exactly. At the end of the day, like, you know,
Most people are
regardless of
welcoming.
how
and-
different we are, like, we have one common thing, and you know, and
Yeah.
that's jujitsu, and that generally is going to mean you're not too much of a dick bag, though. You
Right.
can be, but for the most part, you aren't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for the most part, you're not. Right.
Yeah.
I have yet to run across someone who's been a dick. So thank God.
Really?
Yeah,
They're out
really.
there.
Give it some time.
exactly. He must not have been training very long. Give it some time.
Well, not to my face anyway. So
Yeah. So how was Seraphin's Open Mat? A lot of people.
It's
I saw
fantastic.
the picture he posted the other day. There's like fucking 30 people or some shit
Yeah,
like that, man.
there's a lot of people. You know, it was Josh was there.
Oh, did he go?
Yeah,
Nice.
Josh went. Yeah, I'm like, Josh, like, what's up, man? He's like, walked in. I'm like, that's so cool, man. I'm like, you're putting the gi on? He goes, one in Rome. I'm like, let's do this. That's great. So we rolled. Josh and I
Okay.
rolled in the gi. You know, he's a brown belt, man. He's
Yeah.
still gonna, you know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna wreck shop.
Piece of cloth ain't gonna matter
No,
there.
it's not gonna
you
matter
know?
to him much. No, but it's still interesting to see because he's primarily a no-gi guy, Temple of Chicago.
Primarily,
Piscini,
he's
he's
all
talking
no
about?
gi.
Yeah, Piscini, right? So.
His game changed.
Nah, a little bit because I'm holding on to him. My hands are this because of him. Because I was like, I don't want him to pass. I don't want him to pass. I'm just trying to hold on. And he was being obviously not because he's a lot bigger than me. So he was, let me play my game and stuff. But yeah, it was great, man. I don't want to stop. The problem is it gets so hot in that room that your hands start to melt. Like, you get like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, my nails are real soft. I'm like, okay, I got to stop now. Cause it's just the room gets so
You're like pruning up.
Yeah.
Stayed in the bath too long.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And then it's just part of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
that
a-
don't happen to me.
We did a brown and black belt session there right when he moved into that space, and fogged up the mirrors,
Yeah.
everything. No,
Yeah.
I pruned up that day.
Yeah, no, it definitely gets hot in there.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Yeah,
it's
it
so
is.
great.
It is. I love that training. Hotter or better when it comes to training.
Yeah.
So how do you guys structure your classes? Do you do like 1 or 2 days a week no gi, or just do you have?
It's kind of funny. So, like I said, Carlos was out on Wednesday, and it's a good sized class. I don't know. Monday night's the only nights that I run no gi currently. And I asked Carlos, I was like, my fucking Monday nights are always my slowest night. Like, man, like, what about you, Carlos? What nights do you do gi, no gi? And he's like, yeah, no, I whatever night that he did no gi, he changed it to gi, and within 2 weeks, he said he went from getting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people to like 10, 15 people in class. I was like, He's like, why don't you fucking guys tell me? He's like, I would have changed it if you were going to come in,
Right.
So I'm actually contemplating changing my schedule and dropping no-gi for right now. And just be like, fuck you guys want to
do
no?
it.
Yeah, I know.
You know what Jeff Serafin does? He does block. He does
Yeah.
week blocks. So he goes like a week of gi, week of no gi, week of gi. So like if it's Tuesday night is no gi, fuck it. Tuesday will be my rest day. You know what I mean? You can't do that if it's no gi the
All
whole
no-gi,
week.
yeah.
If you're
That
trying to
makes
get it
sense.
in, you
Yeah.
have to show up.
Yeah.
Who's not going to train jiu-jitsu for a week?
Right.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not going to take a whole week.
No one cares
Everybody's
about
got
it.
the bug, right?
Fuck that.
So I thought that was a great way of doing it.
It's a good way to force people to
but,
change
you
it
know,
up a little bit.
At our school, at Minecco, we don't have any. There's no gi.
Fridays.
Oh, is it Fridays?
Yeah.
Does anyone show up for that?
I think it's a slow day over there.
Slow day. That's the thing, I don't know. Fucking these
but
people
guys talk. They're like, man, I wish we did more no gi here, blah blah blah. And then one dude's like, well, we got to rally the troops. We got to show Andre that, like, we all got to show up for that day.
I want to do some no-gi, so they go do no-gi, and then it's just no grips, right? So it's 5 fucking million miles an hour, right? Everybody gets so super tired, and like, yo, fuck this no-gi, fuck this, I'm not coming back,
right?
It's the same thing though. Same thing at my gym, no-gi nights. So I changed it to open mat. So I got a lot of young professionals and students, So
why don't you just have gi? Like, just on the schedule, just everything is gi, and then one night you just surprise them. Everybody lose the jackets,
I tell my guys all the time, and I got a couple of my guys that are really into it, and so they're, almost every night I'll get a couple guys that will tear off their gi and say, yeah, let's do a round or two with no gi. I love seeing that shit,
Yeah.
I'm no leg lock expert by any means, but I enjoy a nice leg lock once in a while and a footsie game, So me and some of my purple belts, we'll strip the tops off and go at it and try to break each other's feet. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a leg lock guy.
Yeah, I love no-gi. I love leg locks too. So,
yeah.
I got.
Do you guys train heel hooks and all that at your schools?
Hell yeah.
Like when we're going, if I'm fucking rolling with one of my purple belts or brown belts, fuck yeah, dude, we try to kill each other. But when it comes to teaching technique, I don't teach a lot of footlocks to my guys because a lot of them are still, I don't have a lot of color just yet. It's kind of getting there. I mean, after 2 years, starting to. That white and dirty white starting to turn to blue. So got a couple other guys that I'm due to promote. But
what's the reason behind? You just want them to learn the basics.
Yeah, dude, really fucking so
know the basics.
Like you, right? I visited for work in 2009. I was at work and they were like, "You're gonna go to this other city." Now I don't want to name any names, but you're gonna go work. And I actually met a guy that I still talk to. He's a black belt now, and at the time he was a brown belt, running an academy, running a team outside of a big name academy, and there's some MMA fighters there, and so I walked in. It was a no-gi class, and this guy, I'm a blue belt at the time. I think I'm like a year and a half in the jiu-jitsu. There's one other guy who's a blue belt. I think my brother actually competed against him at a Naga very early on. His name was Kyle. I'm pretty sure you did. Anyway, the rest of the class was white belts. He taught a cartwheel pass to a rolling toe hold from side control.
Wow.
To a room full of fucking white belts.
Wow.
Right.
It's impressive.
Cartwheel pass.
How'd that go? How'd that look?
Sloppy.
No one learned a fucking thing that day.
No one learned it.
Right.
No one learned a thing. Well, I did. I learned how I wasn't going to run my fucking classes.
Right, exactly.
So majority of what I teach is super basic, and at times it gets boring. But for my guys, and I tell them, I say, you guys you have to believe in the jiu-jitsu,
But that's what wins competitions: the basics.
Fundamentals, man.
Fundamentals.
It's all about the fundamentals.
Yeah. Cron Gracie. There you go. I mean, look at that.
Fucking Marcelo Garcia. The best of the best in the world. They got real simple, basic games. Now, for my higher belts, I will, show advanced stuff and some other ideas to get these guys to play with and whatnot. But I also encourage my students to go seek that knowledge. Go train in another gym. Go take a seminar. Go watch YouTube.
Right.
Go pay for Mendez online or whatever.
Right.
It's I'm not one of those. I definitely don't think that I know fucking all of it because I know fucking not even a small fraction of it.
Yeah.
I mean, what I try to think about and try to really concentrate on lately, and Jeff was telling me this the other night because after we rolled, he was giving me some pointers on some leg locks, and just simple things like just knee pinching. I still, as much as I do leg locks, I had him in a leg lock and he gave it to me, right? So I'm there and he's just chilling, like I'm not doing anything. He's like, you know what it was? I'm like, no, what was it? He goes, you weren't knee pinching enough. I'm like, fuck, man.
Little details, man.
Just little things. He goes, here, and he clamps it onto me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I see the difference.
Right.
He goes, so you had me like this. You should have had me like this. Okay, yeah.
Difference between working and not working.
Yeah, totally. So it's those little I don't know if they call that invisible jiu-jitsu, knee pinch and that stuff, but if that's to me that
I believe that's what they mean by
that's what they mean by
invisible
it.
jiu-jitsu.
You can see someone holding the leg,
what I call
but
jujitsu.
that pressure on the leg is totally different.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I have to like. Oh, knee pinch. You're so excited that you got his ankle. You're there. You're like, oh yeah, but
Right.
you kind of forget the rest of it.
Everything else goes to shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just focused on that one.
Just
one
Tunnel
move.
vision.
Got
I
it.
tell my
Yeah.
guys, don't
Yeah.
get tunnel vision. You know,
Don't,
it's like
yeah.
fucking don't just see red. You see,
Yeah,
oh, I
you
got
see
the
red.
submission.
Right.
All technique goes out the window.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
fucking go after it.
Yeah.
It's like
And your
white belt
body's trying
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Body's trying to rest too. You're like, I got this. I don't want to have to squeeze here and do this and hook that. You know what I mean? Then
But
you're-
you do it. That's the
thing.
Right,
you
that's
do,
the-
yeah.
you gotta have it
Invisible
all there.
jiu-jitsu is called not being lazy.
Right.
I think.
That's why when instructors are teaching you, they're like breathing heavy because they're, you know, when Andre's showing us a move, he's not cool. He's like tight, and he's
Right.
like, after he gets up, he's like sweating. I'm like, dude, just showed us a move, but he's all in it.
Right,
Like
right.
everything's compressed,
Gotta be.
everything is tight.
Yeah. Like you
That's
said that about Eddie Bravo.
I said it about
You're
Eddie
like,
Bravo,
that dude
too.
is like sweating bullets from just like showing us how to do, you know?
He's not rolling. He stands up after doing something. He's like, you're like, dude, sit down, man. But he's all in it. Like his whole body's just
Yeah.
compressed into that move. It's so impressive. I can't wait to get there. I cannot wait to get
fun.
there.
It's fun. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
It's
enjoy the
definitely-
trip, man.
Yeah. You know, the black belt, I heard at a promotion ceremony once said there's no secret to it. Simple answers. Just keep showing up.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and then it rang true. I was like, oh shit, just keep fucking training. Don't chase the belt. Don't chase the competition or whatever. You know, like who cares if, oh man, he got his belt before me. Oh man, this guy got striped before me.
Right.
You know, if you lose sight, you get all that shit out of your mind.
Yeah.
And just focus on their journey. Just enjoy it.
Being on the mats.
Yeah.
Be there, be on the mats, you know?
Being on the mats and being healthy. That's it.
That's it.
That's as long as I'm healthy, I
Yeah,
can
you guys talking
train.
about, you know, guys getting injured and life getting in the way.
Yeah.
You know, people not being able to train. You just got to, when you get on the mats, you know, be there, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Stay on them.
Speaking of on the mats, now we have to tell people when they come to bring their gear because
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. With that place
Yeah,
back
legit.
there, that's
I know.
crazy that you wouldn't.
I know.
I would just
It's like-
assume.
And you guys are
fucking-
Nogi guys,
we
right?
hit-
Yeah.
We just,
Let's just fucking go
Strip
strip down and
down
get
our
it.
undies
Let's
and-
go.
Let's go.
I mean,
a little
we
weird,
got a
but
room full
whatever.
of fucking guys that do jujitsu 30 feet from jujitsu mats. You know.
So Zito, do you want to explain what's going on here, the situation?
Well, yeah. So we moved. I moved my office, and I built out the podcast studio, obviously in the office, and then we're in what they call the Pan Fitness Factory. So John Tuto is has his jiu-jitsu inside the fitness factory. So they've got boxing, they've got CrossFit, they got all this stuff there, and obviously they have, you know, John's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope.
Full-size boxing
Full-size
ring,
boxing ring.
It's very nice.
heavy bags,
Go
speed
check it out.
bags.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. So, so now when our guests come, we have to tell them, hey,
Bring gear. Fucking let's train.
Yeah,
because John's open mat started at 7.
7, yeah.
Fuck, man, it's
Fuck, you should have
legit.
done the.
Wait,
We should
so
be
there's
doing
open
this
mat going on right now?
That's what
That's
I'm
what
saying.
I'm
Open
saying.
mat right now.
Yo.
Yeah.
These
We
guys
should've
sound
been
like
like-
they're done with this podcast.
Let's get together
I'm
at
done with
5.
it.
We'll record. We'll do our thing, and then we'll train for fucking a couple hours.
That's what we should do.
Well, what I wanted to do,
Yeah,
but
next time you have
I
some,
think
I'm
you
in.
said you needed John's permission first. Was whoever we bring on as a guest, we bring them next door, and they show like one of their favorite techniques, and we put it out
Or
on
we just roll.
our YouTube channel.
Or we could just roll.
We could just roll.
I think we just roll that.
Okay.
I'm down for rolling, dude.
All right.
I mean, we got black belts. Let's just roll.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Let's just get our ass kicked for a good half hour.
That's good. All right, we'll wrap it then.
All right. Where can people find you?
IllinoisGrappling.com.
ChicagoSchoolOfGrappling.com.
Yeah.
Any social media?
I'm on. I don't know. I'm on Instagram. Illinois_grappling_club.
Okay.
I'm on Snapchat as of today. Mike_Cimm, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm on Facebook
Snapchat?
too. Mike
Snapchat?
Cimm.
Are you old for
Snapchat.
Snapchat?
I am. I don't know. But I was talking to my buddy.
How
though. He
old
was
are
saying
your
like it's-
students, man? I know one of your students got you into
So I'm
that
gonna give you
shit.
guys the angle, all right? Because I have Snapchat as well.
It's like good
But
for
I
families.
It's not even families. I did the filters. My daughter friggin' loves
yeah,
them.
her
So
loves
Gotcha.
filters,
I've
yeah.
never made one snap ever, but that I'm on Snapchat every day for those filters. I can tell you that.
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
So yeah, there's that. You know, I don't know.
Right.
Facebook, Mike Cimm. Come find me. Come say hello.
Nick Cimm on Facebook and Chicago Grappler on Instagram.
Oh, sweet. That's a good one.
It is.
Damn.
That is a good one.
Gangster.
How'd you get that one?
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, guys. Let's see if they're still open next door.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Thanks for
We'll
coming
see
in,
you guys
guys.
later.
Thanks for having us.
Bye. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Grappler Union. Siri, how can our listeners find out more info?
For more information about Grappler Union, you can visit them on the web at grapplerunion.com or follow them on Instagram and on Twitter at Grappler Union. Like them on Facebook at facebook.com/Grappler Union. Also be sure to subscribe on iTunes. All episodes are available on the Grappler Union YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Anthony, I really enjoyed the podcast. Can't wait to hear the next one.
Thanks, Siri.